What is up, all you beautiful people? It is I, AkemiTCG, back here with a brand new deck profile. VFD got hit, so now Rikkas can go on a rampage. It's Rikka time. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Umbrella Gang, to the March 2021 Rikka Fairy deck profile after the new ban list that's effective on March 15th. So what did we lose? We lost our True King of all Calamities. We didn't really summon it that often. We did have a turn 1 combo with it. However, that's not such a big blow to our deck as it is a buff to the deck. What do I mean? True King of all Calamities actually messes up this deck a lot if your opponent summons it on you, and now that that's gone, you can kind of finagle with a lot of other things, a lot of other options. So the build I'm working on right now is a going second build. The reason why I like the going second build is going second cards just get rid of your opponent's stuff, like gets rid of a lot of their advantage. Whereas I tried to going first build. If you check my previous Road to National vlog, you can see my going first build in action. I just didn't like it as much. I just went first. I felt like I was disadvantaged because this deck, quite frankly, doesn't generate that much advantage as the deck itself. So I do prefer the going second version. That being said, we are running 41 cards in the main deck, and let's get started with the monsters. We're first starting with 3 Rikka Petal. This is the main bread and butter card of the deck. If you're not playing Rikka Petal, it's like you're not playing Stratos and Elemental Heroes. It's literally what it does. It revives during the opponent's end phase, and it just always comes back as long as you either have only plant monsters in the field or no monsters on your side of the field. So it's super free. It's a once per turn. It's not an on summon effect, which can be beneficial in certain situations as well. We're playing 3 Mudan, the Rikka Fairy. This searches for your spells and traps. I can't see any build not playing 3. It's just a really good card. If you want to get the Rikka Glamour to search, you can. If you want to take your opponent's stuff for Rikka Sheet, or just stop them from activating stuff, you can. Or if you need to revive and recur your monsters for the next turn, you can grab Tranquility. So you just have a lot of options with Mudan, the Rikka Fairy. Also, just quick tributes. Well, not quick tribute, but it tributes one of your monsters for cost. So if you tribute Strene with it, you get a free Plant Exceed from your extra deck, which is pretty neat. 3 Snowdrop, the Rikka Fairy. I know some builds play this at 2. I tried playing this at 2 at the vlog, but it just didn't work out. I realized I don't summon Strene that often, so I just bumped it up to 3. You need this card at 3. It's just a good card. 2 Primula, the Rikka Fairy. This card basically is one of your main combo extenders. It just special summons itself if a plant monster you control is tributed, which is really neat because if you use Rikka Glamour and you tribute one of your plant monsters, and then you grab Primula and let's say World Carrot Weight or any other level 4 plant, then on resolution, because something was tributed, you can special summon Primula from your hand in defense. And also, what comes in really nifty is it also adds 2 levels to 2 of your plant monsters. So that can really come in handy. Let's say you have 2 Mudans on the field for whatever reason, you can make them both an 8 and then go off with your combo from there. 1 Erica, the Rikka Fairy. I still like this card at 1. I know some people play it at 2, but I just don't see it come up that often. You can also send it to the graveyard with Rikka Petal, because a lot of people forget that Rikka Petal can either add or send stuff to the graveyard. So there's something to think about. The extra 1000 buff is pretty nifty, especially if you're going for Teardrop. Tribute this in hand and attack for 4k. It's not bad at all. But I can't see myself playing more than 1, because you can only use each effect once per turn. That's all for the Rikka stuff. We have 3 Lone Fire, summon any plant for your deck, easy peasy. 3 Evil Thorn. This is basically one of your main combo starters. If you're not playing Evil Thorn, it's just kind of finicky. This is a combo build, so you can do a plethora of plays with Evil Thorn, but if you're playing a more control build, you don't necessarily have to play this. But I do still heavily recommend it just because it's pretty much starts off a lot of your plays, and also has good synergy with Rose Girl and also Primula as well. The Aramage stuff, we have 1 Angelica, 1 Laurel. This is basically one of your main combo extenders. With Jasmine, you would grab the Laurel, special summon Laurel, and then you do your plays from there basically. And also, Angelica is one of your main tuners. Also, if you guys didn't know, if you gain life points while Laurel's in the field, there's only probably like one way to do that in this deck, is with Angelica. it becomes a tuner. So that's something to think about, and it's a mandatory effect. A lot of people do forget that, but it is something to think about. One Rose Girl, just for the recurring, it always comes back. It's a good card. I can't see myself playing more than one because I don't need it that much, but I do tend to search for it quite often. One Spore, free extender, carrot weight. The main purpose of this card is for Primula with Glamour, but it sets up for a lot of plays as well once it hits the graveyard. One Model, just because it searches any plants, and also one Hard, because we are still playing the generator package. As a quick side comment, I did try playing Fairy, Archer, and Gunnar. I tried playing this card, tried playing it for a bit, but it was just too situational and it just didn't come up that often. So I decided to omit it from the deck, if you all are wondering. On to the spells. Also, if you like what you're watching so far, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. One Generator boss stage. Basically, Mardell can search Generator boss stage, so you pretty much get a free negate. Which is really, really nifty, and also a big body on board. One for one. This card is way too good to pass up. You can literally go for the plethora of ones that you have. I've sometimes gone for Laurel before, just so I can later on get a search with Aromatherapy Jasmine. So that's something to think about. Also, Eva Thorn, free combo plays without using your normal summon. So this is as close as we're gonna get to the new, what is it, White Rose Cloister field spell we're supposed to get. I don't know when we're gonna get it, but one for one's there, irregardless. New card, Pot of Prosperity. So you don't have Prosperity. It's just kind of tricky because you could play Desires, but it just messes up with your Eva Thorn combo. And sometimes you can banish all three of your Snowdrops, which isn't that good. With Prosperity, the reason why I play it is almost every time I've activated this card, I've gone into a play. You Prosperity into Lone Fire, Prosperity into Petal, Prosperity into Thorn. It just works out. There's no other draw card in the deck. And when you're going games 2 and 3, when you start siding cards in, Prosperity literally just lets you dig there. It just works. And that's why I like this card a lot. I know this is out of the budget for a lot of people, but if you can get some sort of draw power in this deck, I highly, highly recommend this card. Especially if you're playing online Yugioh. It's free online anyway, so highly, highly recommend it. One Monster Reborn, free extender. Rikka Flurries. I'm finally playing this card again. It's been a really, really long time since I played it, but now I realize the format's gonna get slower and slower, which is really exciting because this deck is, in hindsight, it's kind of slow. So Rikka Flurries, if they have like a Avermax, if they have an Appaloosa, it just forces them to get rid of it. And then 3 Rikka Glamour. Obviously, you need to search for stuff. This is the E-Call in the deck. And also, if you tribute something, you generally get both Royal Caraway and Primula. And then you can special summon Primula immediately after on resolution. One Duster, get rid of back row, because primarily you want to go second. And then 2 Dark Hole, 1 Regeki. If you're super, super aggressive, you can play the 3rd Dark Hole. If you like even numbers, just play 42. Basically, again, you want to go second with this deck to generate as much advantage as possible, because when you're playing this deck, because this deck is super, super rogue, it's like the bottom tier rogue, you have to get as much advantage as possible. And I think this just closes the gap a lot quicker. Now on to the traps. All we're playing, 2 Tranquility, 1 Sheet. You can play 2 Sheet, 2 Tranquility, completely up to you, but I've never had the need for more than 1 Sheet in any duel, and usually if I want the Sheet, I would just search for it with Mudan. So as simple as that. On to the extra deck. So there's quite a few changes here from the last time I made this, so bear with me, alright? 2 Aromatherapy Jasmines. Why am I playing 2 of these? One of the biggest issues I had was with Aromatherapy Jasmine, I would tribute something, get Model. I would want to search Laurel, just to special summon it to extend. And I want to trigger Jasmine's effect to get another search. So what you can sometimes do is you would Jasmine, tribute whatever's pointed to summon Model. Model, get the search for Laurel, special summon Laurel. And then you can link the Laurel in the new Jasmine to summon a second Jasmine, and then it'll trigger the search for it. And that's why I play the 2 Jasmines. I just like it like that a lot, because it gives you more options and lets you extend your plays. 1 Perialis. This card is really good. Every time it's popped up, you revive a monster. Generally, you revive the Snowdrop. You can make either 7 or 8 or whatever other plant monsters on the field of your liking. And also, this card gets really, really big, so you can just swing over for the game. 1 Rikka Queen Strenna. I tried playing this at 2, I just realized I almost never summoned it. So at 1, I feel like it's the sweet spot. If I somehow augment this deck for more 4s, I can potentially see myself playing 2, but as of right now, I see myself playing at 1. Because, believe it or not, the second tribute effect requires some setup to actually make it work. And sometimes, you would just summon Strenna, and you would sit on 1 back row, and then this just wouldn't go off for some reason, because, you know, you just get wrecked by the opponent. It does happen, so it's just something to think about. 1 Kanzashi, protection for plants. 1 Ingunar, probably one of the best exceed plants in the game, in my opinion. You can literally just yeet off of your opponent's stuff, and your opponent doesn't have a response, or your opponent can't have a response. They have to respond directly to the summon of this before it activates its effect, which is super, super neat. 1 Aurea, the big bird. Bounce your opponent's stuff back. This is the Dragite of the deck. 1 Alsei. Spin a card on your opponent's side of the field back to the top or the bottom, and sometimes when you mill, you can mill something really good off of Alsei as well. Same with the Aurea. Both of them let you mill, and sometimes you can mill really gas stuff. 2 Teardrops. You usually don't summon 2, but this is probably your main bread and butter card. And when you play that copy of Prosperity, you usually want to get rid of 1 Teardrop and then try to figure out what you want to do with your upcoming plays, depending on your hand. 1 Dingirsu, just to get rid of the big stuff. I know you're locked into plants most of the time, but when you go into Tranquility and you revive back that Snowdrop during the end phase of your opponent's turn, you can shove a Dingirsu and then your opponent's going to be hurt. I guarantee you. 1 Hyperton, this gives you that free Monster Negate. You can only activate during your opponent's turn, which does kind of suck, but also if you activate a spell card after, you can get a spell negate as well. It is situational, but this does come up, especially if you Snowdrop Mardell. That's probably the easiest way I can think of to summon Hyperton, but it does come up. Now onto the source. 1 Nightingale, 1 Downard, and 1 Zeus. So why are we doing this? If you summon Evil Thorn or Lone Fire, that's just a free Nightingale into Downard into Zeus. It just really depends on the situation. You are going second anyways, and you sitting on a Zeus with 4 materials under it is very scary to the opponent. And that way this deck can generate more and more advantage. And it just works. It just works. But if you don't want to play this engine, you could potentially play the Verte engine with the Verte Anaconda, Dark Dragoon. But I will argue that Zeus is a little bit better right now just because A, I don't have to play those bricks in my deck, and then B, the other issue is a lot of people are playing the new Link 5, the new Goddess, and that just tributes or gets rid of the Red Eyes Dragoon for free. So you spend up all that resources, you play the 2 bricks in your deck for literally no reason. It just really sucks. And summoning Zeus gives you the option to get rid of your opponent's cards before they can make the inevitable. And that's why I like Zeus in the build. Now on to the side deck. So I made this side deck pretty much catered for the people at my locals. It's going to vary depending on who you play against, just a heads up. 2 Lancia for those Dino players, Dryton players, VW players that are remaining. Fury of Kairushin plus the 2 Torrentials. It's good. Just very, very good in the deck. These are waters, so when you play Torrential and you only have waters on the field, the Fury of Kairushin banishes itself to protect your waters. 3 Imperms. I feel like this card could potentially make a comeback, and also if they have like a Vanity's Ruler on the board and you can definitely target it with the Imperm, then it could work out. 3 Evenly Matched for the back row heavy. Same with the red reboot for that random Geist player, and then Ice Dragon's Prison. This card is, in my opinion, going to be super, super good, and I can't see myself not playing this card because Dinos are going to be huge this format. Eldritch is going to be huge this format, so Ice Dragon's Prison is going to be your answer to those particular decks. Anyways, that is all I have for the video. Hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I am AkemiTCG, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.
The world ends now.